Check that little beauty out. Today he joined me down at Nash Lake's Royston. I got down last night on Wood Lake, flicked out the rods. I put all 3 rods out on adjustable zigs, and just as the sun's tried to poke its head out this morning, one of the rods has ripped off and we've been able to catch this. As mentioned, I've been fishing zigs throughout the night, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to set up our brand new Run Clip zig kit. So I'll get this one slipped back and run you exactly how to set it up. So this is the new product that I'm using down here at Royston, and it's the new Run Clip zig kit. Now when you purchase the kit itself, you get 1 zig float within the packet and 4 running clips. As you all know, when you're using zigs, it's really important to make sure that you're dropping the lead. Now, the last thing you want to do is be reeling in a fish, a big 3-ounce lead bouncing around, and especially down here at Royston where it's a barbless reel, that lead is just going to help pop the hook out of the fish's mouth. So using this new running lead clip, it makes sure that I'm going to drop the lead and be able to land the fish safely while using the adjustables. In the kit itself, you get 1 adjustable zig float and 4 of the running clips. The running clips are an absolute game changer when it comes to this style of fishing. Originally using that big metal ring, not being able to drop the lead, it wasn't ideal. But with the lead clip, it's aerodynamic, reducing tangles, and more importantly, you're able to drop the lead, which is really key when using zigs. As you can see, the float itself is transparent with a little bit of a khaki colour there, and that just helps camouflage the float when it's popped up in the upper layers. In the top of the zig float, it's been designed to fit a size 8 swivel perfectly, so there's enough tension there to hold the swivel in place. The float is also being made a lot more aerodynamic compared to the original design, and this helps you being able to fish adjustable zigs a lot further than you originally could. If you haven't used adjustable zigs in the past, looking at this, it can be a little bit daunting and scary on how to actually set this up, but trust me, it's really simple. All I've done is I've taken the run clip out of the zig kit and slid this onto the main line. I then take the buffer sleeve, slide this onto the main line, shortly followed by the zig float. Once I've slid the float onto the main line, I'm then tying a size 8 swivel on the end of the main line. The float itself is being designed to take a standard size 8 swivel perfectly, and on this session in particular, I've decided to use a size 8 quick change swivel. The reason I've decided to use the quick change swivel rather than a standard one is it allows me, if I'm catching a couple of fish, I can get a fresh hook link on there straight away and get it cast back out. When would you choose to use an adjustable zig? To be honest, there's 2 different scenarios where I'd opt to use this tactic. The first one is when I'm fishing a big deep lake. Like I am down here at Royston, you're looking at depths in 30-foot areas, and the last thing that you want to do is cast out a 25-30 foot thick zig in this area, be playing a carp and going to land for fish, because trust me, it is impossible. However, the great thing about the adjustable zig is you're able to fish any depth without having that issue of landing a carp on a super long zig. And the other great thing I love about adjustable zigs is when you cast it out, if you want to change depth and try and find where them fish are holding up, you're not having to constantly reel in, putting new hook lengths on, changing rigs. You do 1 cast, and from there you're able to adjust the depth while sitting from the bank. I think people have this idea that zigs are a tactic which will only work in the summer months, but trust me, they will work 365 days of the year. Carp spend a lot of time up in the water, they're not always feeding on the deck, and especially when lakes are fishing slow, if you put a zig out and you get it right, you can have prolific sessions. In the summer months when the sun's out, the fish will be near the surface. In the colder months, you tend to find them carp grouping up in the firmer climes, and if you can find where them carp are holding up with the temperatures, yeah, you can clear up and catch multiple carp in a very short period of time. When it comes to casting adjustable zigs, a lot of people opt to use PVA foam to avoid tangles. However, with the new design of the Run Clip system, it's been designed to prevent tangles and there's no need to use PVA on the cast. Once I've cast out the zig rig, I'll feel it hit the bottom as if I was fishing a normal fishing rod, and then I'll open the bail arm. When I open the bail arm, I let the line come off the spool while keeping a sort of little bit of tension on the line as the float comes up to the surface. When the float comes to the surface, I use a pair of binoculars just to check that everything's went out there perfectly and there's a nice separation between the zig float and the hook bait. Now when it comes to tying the actual length of the zig, I make sure to tie it to a very specific length. The length that I choose to do is from the bail arm on the reel to the first ring on the rod. And this is really important because what I'll then do is slowly tighten up just so the float's just underneath the surface. And then what I know is if I grab the line at the first ring on the rod and I peel the line back onto the reel, by the time my fingers get to the bail arm, I know that hook bait is just going to be sat in the surface film. It's then a simple case of bringing down the zig to the depth that I require. Now, one thing that I'll do when using adjustable zigs is I'll make note on my phone of the depth where I'm dragging the float down to. So to start off with, I might fish the hook bait a foot under the surface, give it an hour or so, not catch anything, bring it down to 2 foot, 3 foot until eventually I get a bite. But making a note on my phone, it just allows me to make sure that if I bring it down 7 foot and I get a bite, I'm not going to forget what depth I caught that carp. It's very easy to lose count of how deep you've brought that zig down, so making a note will just ensure that when you do the next cast, you know not to waste any time and bring it down to the depth where you've caught the fish. Overall, I feel like adjustable zigs really can be a deadly method, especially when there's not really many bites happening on the bottom and then fish are somewhere in the mid-water columns. You can use some adjustable zigs, find where they're hiding and get plenty of action.